Have you ever felt like you weren't enough? Like the world had a checklist and you just didn't tick the boxes? That was my life. I wasn't the guy who turned heads. I wasn't the star of the team or the life of the party. I was just me. And for a long time, it felt like being me was the problem. Everywhere I looked, I saw rejection. It's not just in grand cinematic ways, but in the small, quiet moments that chip away at you. The unanswered texts, the averted gazes, the polite smiles that never quite reached the eyes. It was a constant, subtle reminder that I was on the outside looking in. I tried to change. I read books. I went to the gym. I tried new hobbies. I thought if I could just find the right combination, the right version of myself, maybe then I'd be accepted. Maybe then I wouldn't feel so alone. But every attempt felt like wearing a costume that didn't fit. The more I tried to be someone else, the more I lost sight of who I actually was. The rejections didn't stop. They just came with a new layer of exhaustion. I remember one evening after another date that went nowhere, sitting in my car, the silence was deafening. I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror, and I didn't recognize the person staring back. He looked tired. He looked defeated. For the first time, I felt a profound sense of sadness, not for being rejected, but for rejecting myself. That night, something shifted. I decided to stop trying. Not in a giving up kind of way, but in a letting go kind of way. I stopped trying to be the person I thought others wanted me to be. I started doing things just for me. I went hiking because I loved the quiet of the woods, not to post a picture. I learned to cook because I enjoyed the process, not to impress someone. I started reading books that genuinely fascinated me, not ones from a bestseller list. Slowly, without realizing it, my world started to change. My conversations became more genuine because I was talking about things I was truly passionate about. My confidence grew, not from external validation, but from the simple act of being true to myself. I was still the same person on the outside, average looking, not the center of attention, but on the inside I felt whole. I stopped looking for someone to complete me because I was finally starting to feel complete on my own. And that's when I met her. It wasn't at a loud party or through a dating app. It was at a small local bookstore. I was in the history section, completely absorbed in a book about ancient civilizations. She was looking for a collection of poetry. She asked me a question about a title, and we just started talking. There was no pretense, no agenda. We talked about books, about our dreams, about the simple things that made us happy. She was beautiful, yes, in a way that seemed to radiate from within. It wasn't just her looks, it was her confidence, her kindness, her sharp wit. She saw me. Not the version I used to project, but the real me. The one who got excited about obscure history and loved the smell of old books. The one who had spent so long feeling invisible. Our first date wasn't a fancy dinner. We went for a walk in the park and talked for hours. I didn't feel the need to perform. I was just me and she was just her. It was easy. It was natural. For the first time, I felt seen, truly seen, for who I was. And it was more than enough. People on the outside probably look at us and wonder. They see me, an ordinary guy, and they see her, this incredible, radiant woman. They might try to do the math to figure out how it all adds up, but they can't, because they're looking at the wrong equation. They're still using the checklist I threw away a long time ago. They don't see the late-night conversations, the shared laughter over silly mistakes, the way we support each other's dreams, big or small. They don't see the quiet understanding that passes between us without a single word. They don't see that she fell in love not with a facade, but with the person I finally allowed myself to be. The journey was long and often painful. The rejections were real, but they led me to the most important discovery, self-acceptance. It wasn't about changing to be loved by others. It was about loving myself enough to be seen. Now, marrying her wasn't the prize at the end of a long struggle. It was the beautiful, natural consequence of finding my own worth. She didn't save me. I saved myself. She just happened to be the amazing person who was there to celebrate with me when I finally arrived. And that's the real secret. It's not about becoming someone worthy of love. It's about realizing you already are. The most beautiful person in the world won't be the one who fits a certain image, but the one who sees you, the real you, and loves you for it. And you'll only find that person when you first learn to see and love yourself. If our story resonated with you and you'd like to see more content like this, a simple like and subscribe would mean the world to us. Thank you for being here.